Today I'm sitting here with two fine gentlemen, longtime friends of mine. Wyman Williams, former mayor of Commerce, Texas for 6 years and philanthropist for Texas A&M Commerce and many other things, positive influences in the community, and also Dr. Johnson, who we've done business with for years, and he will be telling us a little more about our long-term relationship and some business dealings we've had together. So, Wyman, tell us something that if someone was wondering if they should do business with me, what would you tell them?
Well, I've had the opportunity to observe Herb Culp for several years as he was managing a fine small business, 25 or so employees, and I watched what he did as far as getting the folks on customer service. I watched what he did as far as taking care of employees to where they were happy to be there and they wanted to take care of customers. And plus, he trained them how to do their jobs excellently. So this is the way he ran his business. But I also watched him transform himself from a day-to-day manager of a medium-sized business into an investor that changed his life. And goodness, he lived it. He went to a lot of seminars, like he's asking you to come to his. And I think he would agree that not all of them were brand new information. Some of it was stuff he already knew. But what he has to share with you, I think, is well worth your money, well worth your time, because you're going to learn his personal experience. And he can tell it in a way you can understand it, turn it into action plans, and not only make yourself more money, but free up your time to enjoy your life with your family.
That's right. Transition from day to day to more passive income.
Mm-hmm.
We bring management teams in to help run your business if that's what you desire, or buy it out.
A lot of people are at that point. They need to do something different. They don't really know what to do. You can show them a pathway that's understandable and doable.
Michael, what would you say?
Well, I think it's an honor to be asked to talk about you. I was thinking about all of this, and the first thing when I have to deal with somebody I don't know is I would much rather talk to one of their former clients than I would that person, originally. And I want everyone here is to consider me a former client. I've known you for over a decade. We've been involved in more than 24 projects together, some small, some large. I'm a writer, and I act, and I do comedy, and have books. And you and your family has been with me on those things, filming and going with me, and such a help. But also on my horse farm, small projects to larger. And throughout those dozens of interactions, I've always found you and your family to be the same way. Breadth of knowledge, skill, respect, dignity, kindness, devoid of ego, great product in the end. And I know you need to earn your daily bread. We all do. But I've always, realized over the time I've been with you that money's not what you're really all about. Really, it's about helping. And that's important. Because I remember Perot was asked, how have you done so well? And he said, well, I just got people what they wanted. And he's not the only person that said that. Napoleon Hill said that. Zig Ziglar said that. Norman Vincent Peale, Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate. If you help people get what they want, then you can get things that you want. And that's what you're about. So I just, even though I make my living with words, I won't really get this done as much as I want to. I just will suffice it to say, I couldn't recommend you or a seminar that you're doing highly enough. We've all been to seminars we were disappointed. I don't think people will be disappointed in this. Well, that's what I think.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah. What could we say a little bit like we did at the table the other day? Just like, I don't know, why they should trust me, what I'm saying. What kind of a person am I?
Well, I could speak to that. you're a person with instantly recognizable integrity. You're a person who will do what they say they will do, and doesn't take long for that to come across as sincere desire to help people with knowledge that you've gained personally that you want to share with them. And it just makes a lot of sense to spend a little time and learn from it.
Thank you. Michael, why should someone trust me in what I'm saying or doing?
Well, as I said, I've dealt with you a number of years, and that's just characterizes you. Scrupulously honest, and do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. The quality is always remarkable. And then there's something else about you, as you well know, that I've always been fascinated with. You're self-made, and you didn't have the easiest of paths growing to be an adult. And yet, it never bothered you. You're just one positive human being, not in a silly fashion, but in such an admirable way. And he's just like that. When you and most of my friends now that I've gotten over, when they have a challenge, a difficulty, whatever it is, they just say, let's get started. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Let's
how
do
many
this.
times we fail.
Yeah.
That's not important. As a matter of fact, you laugh at it. He laughs at it.
Yeah.
He says, I'll just get on YouTube and we'll figure this out.
Yeah.
And you know, the first thing out of your mouth is when I present something to you that I can't deal with, you say, "Oh, we got this." You start, and it turns into fun, and it's just such a much better way to live.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all be defeated, but not permanently.
Right. There's a big difference.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have time. We have time. We can discuss it and say some more right now if we want to. We use whatever part of this we want to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so we just cut some of it, use some of it in the intro.
Okay, I have one. In my internal criticism of what I might have talk about at this juncture, I call them bite-sized examples of her cult.
Yeah.
You know, I travel a lot. I have to have a hook in the back of my truck for my clothes. I carry a lot. I broke that little hook, and I took it to this big car places, 3 of them, and each place they patiently explained to me why they couldn't fix that. And they have hundreds of thousands of dollars and all these employees. And I showed it to you, and you kind of look at it a while and you say, well, there's 3 ways we can do it. And I don't remember which way we picked, but you can hang a rhinoceros from it.
That's funny.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that's what I see in you. Whether it be some small thing or some huge thing, you're the same way about both.
Okay, here's something that would probably bring more credibility to you, Michael, in the people that I want to reach, is your corporate background. Like, how many years in the missile company, the defense system, industrial psychologist?
Well, that degree was in industrial psych, and I went to work for a large plant, 8 to 10,000 people, and we could make anything. And
That's okay. Yeah. So your business background, corporate background, that's probably what will appeal to these.
And all I need to say there is, wait, so there'll be a place to cut.
Mm-hmm.
And at that plant of 8 to 10,000 people, we did all sorts of things, weapon systems, and I worked for the Department of the Army. I was not in the Army. I worked in Texas A&M. I taught in a branch we had there. Really a wonderful place. And so I worked in industry for 20 years, and I taught in college a lot. That's been my adult life.
That's what stands out to me is because you spent so much time leading people, doing what you did in a 10,000 person corporation, heat-seeking missiles.
Well, I worked in defense systems and productivity improvement, union negotiation, management, supervision, leadership. And by the way, you know, this looks like we planned it. We didn't. That's one thing I've noticed about you, your ability to hire people, select, and then to treat them with dignity and motivate and make work enjoyable. And I watched you over the years. Something good would happen. You'd take everybody to lunch, you know, or I remember you talking to a guy one day. I don't know, you were talking to your whole group, and you said, we don't do a good enough job of showing people the variety of things we can do. And one of your welders says, I was just thinking the same thing the other day, and I was taking pictures of all the things we could do. And your reaction to that, you said, great, that's what we need to do right there. Take some more pictures. And I thought most supervisors of trades and crafts people would say, we don't hire you to take pictures, we hire you to weld. You don't need to be taking pictures. And that crushes the spirit of that employee. He'll never mention that again. But you said, that's wonderful, keep doing that. So now he has more responsibility, and he's looked on as intelligent, a contributor, and that's so motivational to people. That's creative management.
Now we have inside intel on exactly how we do, what we do, when we do, on job sites, in the plant, in the manufacturing. We have real-time video now.
Yeah, that's just such a positive way to treat people. And it's not maudlin, it's not fawning. It's treating people with dignity, like they have the ability to contribute. Of course they do. That's what every successful company does. But I was just always struck by how you could get people to follow you up the hill. You know, there's a lot of people that can charge up the hill, but nobody goes with them.
Well, human capital is a big deal. It's one of the top, challenges with most any business. And one thing that I found that works is to lead and train our people to do what we do. And they're better at it than anybody we could hire.
Yeah.
Could bring in.
And I remember so clearly going to your business, and if people are in there working and you pull up outside, some skilled trades and craft person takes off their hood and they walk out there and say, hi, I'm Jeremy, what's your name? And I can help you. And I think everybody in this company's got interpersonal skills. I haven't seen that before. Okay. Well, I just admire it.
It's important.
Yeah, so
I believe everyone in my organization should know the shared vision of the company, what I call a signature vision. Every employee should know it as good as the other one. Yeah, so that's something that I create.
Well, something that I have observed over these years of watching you is just what was said about your focus on getting employees ready to make an excellent product and make sure the customer is pleased with it. You've taken that intensity into your transition of learning a new way of life, and that is investing, and that is bringing opportunities together. People who are in a medium-sized business or a small business that need a way to transition it, to see that it continues or to sell it. And then, but your intensity and focus on learning how to do it and to do it well with minimal risk is just admirable. You've done it. You've experienced it. And now you want to share it with people.
That's right. That's right.
I want to add something to that. One thing I think that you're so good at, and I think this is so critical, you're the same to the general officer or the janitor.
Mm-hmm.
You treat them the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
very important.
When people see that and start realizing what you're doing, nothing is more effective than that. That's just so critical. All good managers do that, you know?
Yeah.
They do. And all the bad ones don't.
That's right. Everyone in the company should be 100% on board with the vision of the company and the purpose of the company. That's right.
It is.
Yeah. Mike, are they all going good? All right. I mean, hey, let's try something else.
Okay.
Do you want to? I know it's 4:45, so if you need to go, that's great.
He's got to
If
go
you
somewhere
wanna-
later. But he speak for himself instead of me speaking for him. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Talk.
We can.
Just do what you want to do.
Okay. Okay. So, and if you want to speak into the camera, just what you want to say.
And this is what I wanted to say and do. I think you were right
Okay.
to do it like this.
Well,
Better than me just talking for
is
the
it going good? Okay. All I want to do is bring the investors and the business owners together and help make the connection. If I can purchase the company, great. If this investor can invest in this business through the connection they made at this seminar, all the better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I care about people and relationships, and I am building a community, an ecosystem that benefits both the investor and the business owner, because I've been there and I've been looking for ways to grow this company,
Mm-hmm.
the company of mine, ways to bring investors in, ways to scale this company to benefit more people.
The way I understand it, you're looking for a broad range of business owners. Those who are limited in growth potential by lack of capital.
Mhm.
And those who are at a point in their career, they need to do something different,
Mhm.
which might include selling or
Mhm.
learning how to get others to be reliable sustainers of the business. And you can help them with both.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I remember one we could add. We're recruiting this person who had a particular set of skills, and he said, I want to have my own business. And you said, okay, why don't you come to work for me, and I'll help you do that. And you paid him a salary, and you did whatever you need to do in your company, and he keeps learning things, and finally one day he tells you, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go start my own business. And you said, okay, go. Great. And I watched you help this person, this skilled trades and crafts person working for you, and you're helping him to leave you later and do
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I thought, that is really nice.
Why not?
But he ends up being this, devoted friend of yours, so who wouldn't? So I just thought that was just so kind. And I think that kindness is underrated everywhere. When you have it, it's just such an asset.
They're able to help me more outside of my company than they were inside
Yeah.
in these instances.
I just thought that was admirable.
Yeah. And another thing, I don't want anyone in my company that doesn't want to be there, desire to be there. So that's another side of that. So if they want to move on, great. Yeah.
I think it's funny that I feel the same way about my agricultural life. If my cattle don't want to be there, or one of my horses or a dog, okay, you can.
Yeah.
You just cause problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we change it. Maybe there's something else we can do with this. Maybe, Richard, what do you think? What could we do to make people like what we're doing? It's okay. Just asking.
Well, after you have time to look at this, you might want to come back and tell us, here's what we need to do that'll help you, and we can do it again.
Okay.
Because there may not be enough pieces in here to make sense.
Well,
If there's not,
Maybe.
let's do it again with a little more focus on how to get started and how to do it efficiently.
Yeah.
we'll pull a Herb Cope on you
Yeah.
and ask how can we help.
How can we help you?
Well-
But you've got a lot of potential snips here, but
Yeah.
how do you make something useful out of it? That's your challenge. And, we have flexible schedules. We can reschedule and do something different, or do more of the same with a guidance from you as to what's helpful.
Well, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, and this might be more planning than it is actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'll get some good pieces out to put in the intro. But you're right. Maybe this is more planning. We get back together with a specific thing in mind. I didn't do my part. I could
Well,
have helped to plan.
you can form questions and you'll know how we're going to answer them. And we can be more specific and precise, and it can be a better conversation. Because it's easy to brag on you, but the purpose of the whole thing is to get people to your seminar.
Yeah.
And that's what we've got to focus on. How do we get that message again and again over to them, that in a way that it's not so long they won't watch it.
Yeah.
It's got to be concise.
Yeah.
And, you might want to, you might want to just put who we are written on screen. You may not,
Yeah.
you may not you may not have to introduce us. You just say, well, here's a couple of friends,
Yeah.
and
A static
we're here to
picture.
talk about helping you understand why they think you can learn from me.
It might be a photo, just a clip with the wording
Yeah.
on it.
And that builds instantly. It gives us that's who we are. You don't have to explain it, and we get into the conversation about
Yeah.
why we think people should listen to, and we're convinced that they should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I mean, we're here to tell reasons for people to give you time and a little money and learn something that's useful for them. But the notion that you have potential investors wanting to meet people who need a transition in their business, either cash infusion and some management guidance, or they need to transition out of it. And here you are.
Yeah.
You've experienced it. You've done so well, and that's why I think people should give you a chance.
I thought that was good. I thought that was good too. You used it the other day, and I stole it. Self-made. I thought that was important.
Well, we watched your journey. The people listening to this video don't have a clue about it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we can talk about. It's your journey. We watch your journey of a transition from one life, very successful, but into a very different life that gives you so much more flexibility with your time. And it's just, something I didn't ever do, didn't ever think of.
I have a thought I want you to include in your thinking, and it was when we were trying to figure out why did George say he was going to go to that seminar before
Yeah.
he did reading the first page.
Yeah.
And I saw something that guy didn't emphasize, but it came out 3 different times. And the best example of it coming out was in frequently asked questions. Can I watch this virtually? Someone emailed in and asked, can I come to this virtually? And the answer was no. We don't offer that because we don't think there's anything that replaces being with your own kind and networking. And they said that 3 different times about different things. The critical thing here is you get to network with other people like you. They would always include like you. And boy, that really touched me because, when I was 45 and went to that comedy workshop in West Virginia, I thought, I'm not crazy after all. There were 1,000 people there. And the first time
Just as crazy.
Yeah.
in my life, they're like me. And I, always didn't fit in. I always, just lost.
And you're right.
And yet here they are, all doing the same thing. It's absolutely wonderful. Well, that's the way entrepreneurs are. Kelsey would love to go to this,
Yeah.
but she's too busy doing things.
Okay.
But that was
Well,
the
that's-
thought.
I need
You
to
tell them
take
you're going
that
to get
cord.
to do that at this seminar. You're going to get to interact with people like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can be dismissed. It's yeah. So I want to ask you for that thought again.
You want what?
I'm going to ask you for that thought again.
Okay.
The things he said 3 times.
Yeah.
In the
It was always, it's full of people that you get to interact with like you, or it's your tribe of entrepreneurs. And boy, see that's true of women that have disturbed horses.
Yeah.
That's a tribe, and you can't buy a Learjet marketing to them, but you can do what you want to in life marketing to them. There's enough of them.